Hello, everybody. My name is Sebastian Steinhorst. I am currently studying mechanical engineering at the University of Wisconsin-Platteville, Baraboo County. Today, I am doing my informative speech. As you can see, I have the notes written on my phone to help me along the way. You are free to criticize as however you'd like to let me know any future things I should work on with that. But today, my informative speech is going to be on plastics and the effects that they have on the environment, as well as a couple of solutions that we can do as the everyday human to kind of help with those problems along the way. Because if we don't start soon, it's not going to look good for us. I'd just like to say that. But to start off my speech today, I would like to ask you guys a question. What other effects of the environment does plastic have besides the filling of our landfills? Well, if you don't know, I'm here to tell you. So there's actually a couple of things. Number one, a big one, plastic actually affects our marine life and our land life as well as our ecosystems that might not be seen to the public eye. So for example, a researcher known by Eric Serino, she says in her book, Thicker Than Water, The Quest for Solutions to the Plastic Crisis, she writes, and I quote, "With the turtle on the boat and the straw stuck up his nose, we learned that it was a fishing net jumbled with lines, ropes, and empty plastic jugs that were used for flotation, and in that giant mess was a scruffy-looking sea turtle begging for help." Now, there's a couple of ways that I take this information in as the way she wrote it. Number one, the reason that I believe she shared this personal experience with us is just that. She wanted us to see that there are instances out there that we don't see as humans of our marine life being endangered and struggling with plastic use in the ocean. So, and then the other way that I believe she wrote this is for us to understand that the more we throw our plastics into the ocean, the more problems it's going to cause. For example, marine life will see the plastic that we've thrown in, such as like soda can holders, those plastic rings, or cardboard and such, stuff like that. They can either see that as food and or habitat for them to live out of, which can cause major issues, as you've seen from the video of the sea turtle having the straw pulled out of his nose. Now, a couple of solutions that could be used for that specific situation as a simple human, and we don't. And so, for us to be able to actually help the situation, um, even just like simple beach cleanups. I know we all see the videos online of people grouping up together, picking up all the trash and plastic out of the beaches, but even like at your local lake or river, just picking up trash. Don't leave trash around. It's as simple as that. Being able to do your human duties and protect this earth by picking up after yourself. It's as simple as that, and that can go such a long way. Now, another issue besides the filling of landfills and because of plastic is actually the toxicness of the plastic itself when it seeps into our ground. So, a researcher by the name of Kuhnli, who's actually a German researcher, in his article, The Life Cycle Assessment of Single-Use and Reusable Plastic Bottles, he states that the impact of substituting PET bottles, which if you don't know what PET bottles they are basic plastic water bottles that you can buy every day from the store, that replacing these with glass bottles actually leads to a significant increase in global warming and potential climate change, as well as toxicness in our drinking water and our crops that we grow from the ground up. So, with that being said, a simple solution to that is, I know a lot of us have them now, but an everyday reusable water bottle actually saves us about 10 plastic water bottles that a family household will use per day, which is huge because if you think about the average family in America, 10 plastic water bottles per day could lead up to hundreds of millions of plastic that's not in our environment. And for the last problem, like how we talked about originally, landfills. So, landfills are actually one of the most predominant issue that we have in our ecosystem today and on Earth, and about 85% of it is actually filled with plastic right now, which is an insane number. And that is because America has switched to plastic because it's an easier material to make and shape and form in the way you need it to, and as well as it's cheaper. So, with that being said, actually another statistical study was done saying that all 15% of greenhouse gas emissions, which is the cause of our climate change and our global warming, is caused by the melting and the recycling and destroying of plastic in our environment. So if you think about that theoretically speaking, 15% of the plastic that you use is causing the current crisis of global warming and climate change that we're experiencing today. Now, the last solution that I have for you guys is support those companies that are trying to clean up our oceans and clean up our plastic waste. So even like a penny a day, for example, I know every cliche commercial, even a penny a day to like a foundation that, for example, Ocean Blue, which cleans up our oceans and our riverways and our lakes as we do now, will help massively in the future for us. So, in conclusion, there are many ways that plastic actually affects our environment, even if we don't see them as the general population and our general public view. But plastic is actually one of our leading causes of most problems in our world right now, including the effect of marine life, animal life, and ecosystems, as well as the toxicness of our ground and water. And last but not least, the piling of landfills and greenhouse gas emissions. So if we can all just do our part as humans to try and make a change for that so our future generations are able to enjoy the world as we do now, it would play a huge part in what our world would look like 30, 40 years from now. With that being said, my name is Sebastian Steinhorst, and have a good night.